As a kid, I firmly believed that I was gonna outgrow my disability. I felt like I was gonna be just one of the rest of the kids. And I remember distinctly the day when I realized that that wasn't quite true. I was in preschool, and everyone was off playing on the playground. I was watching my friends playing on the monkey bars and the swing sets, and I was crying in the bushes because I realized that my disability was here to stay. But now, looking back, would I want my life to be any different than what it is today? And this kid asked me that. He said, if there was a red pill and you could take it and it would get rid of your disability, there would be no side effects whatsoever, would you take it? Well, as you can see, I use a wheelchair to get around. And I got sick when I was a baby, so I was just about 4. My name is Anjali Pratt, and I'm a U.S. Paralympic athlete, and I am in graduate school at the University of Illinois. I was actually born in Calcutta, India, and I was adopted when I was 2 months old. And 2 months after arriving in the United States, I got sick with an infection called transverse myelitis, and that left me paralyzed from the waist down. At first, I was kind of sad about that. I was sad that my legs didn't work and that my friends could run on the playground and I couldn't do that. But instead of being sad, I was so excited to learn that I could still play sports too. I was watching this really big race in Boston, Massachusetts. It was the Boston Marathon. I was 5 years old. I was sitting on the curb with my brothers and my sister, and the strangest thing happened. People in these racing wheelchairs, they went flying by. I was awestruck. I had never seen anything like it before. It taught me that just because I had a disability, it didn't mean that it was gonna stop me. So I got involved with the Saturday sports program. Being so young, I wanted to try everything. I decided then that I wanted to try my hand at racing. I like to go fast. I came to an event very similar to today. Fell in love with the sports of the speed. I was named to my first national team in 2007. Currently, I am the world record holder in the 200 meters. And I was in Switzerland. I didn't know when I crossed the line whether I had done it or not, but then suddenly they came over on the announcing in German and announced that I had broken the world record. And luckily, my 1 year of high school German was enough to know that I had done it. And so we're all here today to help you all achieve your dreams. So thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you.
It's truly important, I think, to have a connection to someone who is like you, that you can aspire to be like. What's your name? Jessica. How are you, Anjali? Growing to junior nationals, that was one of the first times that I remember going to a function where there was dancing and stuff like that, and my wheelchair didn't matter. It was just, no, everyone's just out there on the dance floor. It didn't matter if you're in a wheelchair or missing a leg, if you're blind. It gives you a community of support. And then to meet Paralympic athletes and to hear them say, yeah, this can happen. This dream can be a reality. Yeah. Those moments have stuck with me.
So how do you turn?
So just for right now, here, you can... My high school was completely inaccessible to students with disabilities. My first day was a complete disaster. You know, you're a lost freshman trying to find your way to homeroom, and I was told, go straight down the hall, take your first left, and there I was the classroom was right in front of me, but so was a giant flight of stairs. Unfortunately, it went beyond just the physical barriers. I had an English teacher who was taking roll, and she gets to my name and says, well, Anjali, what are you doing in an honors level English class? It's not like you can go to college anyway. A lot of my drive comes from the naysayers in my life. So I was a 14-year-old who made the decision to hire my own lawyers and take on my school district in a federal lawsuit. It was a 4-year-long battle. It was probably the scariest moment in my life. But I knew personally that I wasn't going to benefit from the lawsuit from the moment that I started. But I wanted it to be better for kids coming up after me.
I love it. I really do. I want to come back.
And here we are, you know, the first day out in the racing chair, and she just hit 10.5 miles per hour. I'm just blown away. I mean, look out. She's coming. Jessica's coming for us.
November 9th, 2008, I fell out of a window. Back then, It was like hard, but now that I'm like used to it, it's fun because I have all these activities. I can swim, I can do basketball, and I can do track.
Growing up, especially if you're the only one in your community or the only one in your school system with a disability, you feel very much like that it's you against the world. First coming to the University of Illinois, I was a kid in a candy store, just overwhelmed by all the possibilities to be involved on campus, to be involved in athletics. Just being here with other world record holders, other Paralympians. When I first came in, I wasn't on a national team, I wasn't a world record holder, but it motivated me to get out of bed and to be here on time at 8 o'clock every morning, and motivated me to not give up on a set in the weight room. If a set was particularly hard, everyone would come around and cheer me, like, come on, Anjali, you can do it, like, try that again, you know? And we're all just so supportive of each other, and being surrounded by that level of excellence, it pushes you deep down in a way that's so hard to describe.
The characteristics that are stigmatized because of disability are, physical limitation and so forth and so on. But athletics is it's the opposite, the exact opposite. It's pulling yourself further than you thought you could go. So it's very energizing, very engaging and very aggressive. So instead of being passive with life because of some physical difference, now they're being very aggressive and working towards something and being empowered. Really, that's what it's about.
My parents instilled in me my value of independence. I had chores the same way everyone else did. If we were out going to the store and I tripped and fell, my mom said, well, pick yourself back up. She made it very clear she wasn't always going to be there to pick me up and put me back in my wheelchair. And she got judged by a lot of other parents at the time because it was, oh my gosh, your poor daughter with a disability just fell on the ground and you're just going to leave her there? But I appreciate that because it's contributed a great deal to who I am today. Welcome to my home. Over here we have the kitchen. One neat thing is, since my arms are so short, I can't really reach those knobs, so the best use for a potato masher ever is that it's perfectly fit for the stove, so then just use that. Oops. And then we can come through the living room. I think the mentors and heroes kind of come in all shapes and sizes, and Jean Driscoll was one of those racers in the Boston Marathon who I aspired to be like. So much so that actually in the 3rd grade I wrote a little essay that was called When I Meet Jean Driscoll.
That is adorable. That is adorable. You just never know. I want to meet Jean Driscoll because after I saw her pass the finish line of the Boston Marathon, my heart was set on her. I have a few questions that I would ask her. Here they are. How do you train for big events or races? Do you like to swim? Should I answer these?
Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean,
I think that when you have success, you have a platform. And when you have a platform, you have a responsibility to give back. People made a path prior to my generation. When they wanted a college education, they couldn't get it because there were no campuses that were accessible. And a man named Tim Nugent, who had red hair and a temper to match, who fought in World War II and had comrades who acquired disabilities because of their commitment to a free America, who couldn't use their GI Bill. And Tim said, this is not right. They need a way to support their families. Finally, Tim was able to get his foot in the door at the University of Illinois, and it has changed the world. The first curb cuts were on this campus. The first buses with a lift were at the University of Illinois. And then the program expanded, and there were people who had visual disabilities and hearing impairments, because people came before us and paved the way. And already, Anjali has gone to a whole nother level than I did, and I had opportunities to be at a level where my predecessors weren't. And I firmly believe now that we have a responsibility to continue laying down the groundwork for the people who are coming behind us.
Yeah. What are you working with over here? Taylor, appreciate it. Sorry we don't have ice. It's okay. We never have ice in this apartment, ever.
I wasn't that quintessential kid. I wasn't always in a chair, but I always required some help in school. I understood that I was different, but I didn't understand why it was a problem. Because something that makes someone different makes them that much more awesome. I'm a triplet. So all three of us have disabilities, the same disability in fact. It's called cerebral palsy. My brother is in respiratory failure and will die within the next few months. It's not easy. My sister will never be able to live on her own. She's completely dependent on other people. Whereas for me, I'm the only one of my siblings that will ever have children, get married, go to college. Some questions I've been asked, especially by my peers being my own age, they've always asked me, how do you live this life? Being in constant pain, not being able to do things you used to be able to. And the answer to that question is, you just gotta get over it. Be lucky for what you have. I mean, I've had my brother for the last 17 years. I've made some of the best memories I have with my family in the last 3 months. You can't take anything for granted, ever. Because in the blink of an eye, it's gonna be gone. And with Anjali, I've begun to realize that even if your goals are huge, especially for her, I mean, being a Paralympic gold medalist, doing the Boston Marathon and having this dream when she was, what, 7, 8 years old? She's accomplished these things. And her being able to accomplish these things has forced me to realize I can accomplish these things too.
Good stuff, Sandler, good stuff.
I don't see myself being an elite level Paralympic athlete for the rest of my life. There's a lot of other things out there in the world that I want to accomplish, being an advocate and wanting to help individuals recognize their own potential and to be accepting of differences. I see that as a large part of who I am. There have been plenty of obstacles, plenty of hardships, but every single one of those obstacles and hardships has contributed to making me who I am today. So right now, if there was a red pill, would I want my life to be any different than what it is today? No, I wouldn't change anything.